let's see who we should be doing next. Welcome. We're going to take a look at what is hidden from your awareness during May. Aquarius. Looks like it's your turn. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Please check the description box for everything you need to know about how to check what your Rising, Moon, and Venus sign is, etc., etc., etc. You can also go to the description box of the channel if you need to know more information about other things. But this is going to be your May 2025 reading regarding what is hidden from your awareness. We're going to take a look at what has been hidden from your past awareness and what is, you will go through it. It's fine. Anyway, let's get started with your magnetic poetry. Then we'll move into, I think for you, I'm going to use the Tarot Sacred Kingdoms, and then we'll be done, because I'm going to try and keep these readings super short. Oh, well, I guess we kind of just dumped them on the desk here. So not very many words for you this time around for me, but that's just fine. Looks to be that you've gotten the letter A, get yourself a pen and a piece of paper and hit the pause button. Give you about 10 seconds to jot these bad boys down, and then we'll get started on the shuffle and your reading itself while I drink my coffee. Fantastic. Beautiful. Alrighty, like I had said, we're going to use a Tarot of Sacred Kingdoms for your reading today. Again, this is another spread that I'm toying with. It is about what's hidden from your awareness. We'll be taking 3 cards for each of the positions, but we'll start with what is hidden from your awareness about your current situation, which will be like the heart of the reading. It'll be the first one, the first card that we draw, and then we'll take a look at 4 different positions of cards using 3 cards each. I was initially starting out thinking I was going to clarify. However, at the same time, in doing Taurus's reading, I discovered that if we wanted to keep these to a manageable length of time, that we should probably keep them without clarifiers. Again, this is the Tarot Sacred Kingdoms. It's a newer deck that I've been playing around with since January. I got myself some birthday presents from January, and I ended up getting myself, I think, like 4 different tarot decks. So I wanted to try them all out. I also got the Book of Answers, but I'm not going to use it for this spread. I also want to know, let me know in the comments, give me a thumbs up or what have you if you like this spread, because when I try new spreads, if I don't get any feedback, then I don't know if they're good or not. Okay, and Twist for Fairness. I only can take flippers and jumpers. But let's take a look at the heart of the reading for you, which will, of course, be what's hidden from your awareness at this present moment about yourself. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This present moment, what is hidden from Aquarius about themselves. So this is way too many. We're not going to take, I think it's like 5 cards there. We're not going to take them. Tell me, Aquarius, what is hidden from Aquarius's awareness about the self at this time? Okay, we have a flipper. Beautiful. So 3 of Wands in the reverse. There's impatience. Impatience is something that's kind of brewing inside of you at this time. Let's see if we can get it a little closer so you can see the detail on the cards. There seems to be some impatience brewing within you. Also, the Tree of Life, so knowledge here as well. The 3 of Wands is more about kind of surveying the land, kind of taking a look out and seeing how you're going to embark upon a new path. But of course, it's also the impatience, not necessarily having all of the answers in order to do so when it's in the upright. And so sitting back and waiting before embarking on a quest or a path. In the reverse, we have it being impatience is bubbling inside of you. It's as if your inner self, your higher self, is growing impatient, waiting for the opportunity to strike when the iron is hot. You might, during this time, be encountering some restless energy and not necessarily be aware of where it's stemming from. And so that's probably where it is stemming from, is the fact that you've had this sense of adventure brewing inside of you, this creative spark, this inspiration that you need to move forward on, but you're kind of sitting back trying to gather all of the intel before doing it, and that's not working out so well for you. Hence the restless energy, the need to act as opposed to the need to sit back and kind of, plod your course before going ahead with something. In the past for you, what was before you, hidden from your awareness, and before you, we'll take 3 for this, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What was before you and hidden from your awareness? First, we have the 2 of Wands in the reverse. And so you already had an opportunity to strike forth and do something. See, this is even worse than that. It's somebody literally on the threshold of the door, getting ready to move and go somewhere and embark on a journey. But you were already being pushed out the door. It was time to enter a new cycle or move forward, instead of looking out upon everything as if it was time at some point to do something. This is about procrastination for me. The feeling of procrastination and the sense of, that there was too much procrastination happening, and so it was almost as if an energy was pushing you out of that door, forcing you to act when you were reluctant. Thank you. It's almost like a reluctance, It's like the universe could see your reluctance and force you to act in some manner in the past. Usually the ones are about creative endeavors also. Creative endeavors, passion projects, something that you wanted to do that was going to, lead to some great promise of some sort, but for some reason, there's like a nervousness to the energy. Okay. So we have then with it, and I do have a rule of 3. I don't usually take more than 3 cards, but we did have 3 that came down, so we'll take them. In addition to that, we have the 3 of Swords, the Tower, and the King of Swords. This is your card, the King of Swords. You see there? I think it's kind of interesting because my dad's an Aquarius and it looks like him. It's fine. So, heartbreak. There was a heartbreak that occurred. And this could be why there was reluctance, but there was also the thing that shoved you out the door was a heartbreak. The 3 of Swords there was a heartbreak with the 3 of Swords. Something of deep emotional pain that was shocking. Scorpio energy on the Tower. Something that seemed as if it was brought about by the divine, but it shoved you out the door after the reluctance in the 2 of Wands. There was no more pissing around, for lack of a better term. But, the shocking event happened. What preceded it was heartache, heartbreak. And then, it's almost like fire rained down from the heavens, in a way. The shocking event, the sideswiping. And then there was a need for you or for somebody else to look at things from a logical, strategic perspective and use their intellect as opposed to their emotional side. To lead through things from the intellectual and strategic perspective as opposed to the emotional and intuitive perspective, if you will. There's dismay and disappointment in that Three of Swords. But I think what was really hidden from your awareness, it's almost as if, because laying down these cards now, it's almost as if the Two of Wands in reverse comes after. It's almost like it's the result of the Three of Swords, Tower, King of Swords. So it's almost as if the logical next step was to cross the threshold of the door that one was reluctant to enter or exit in the first place. The heartbreak, the shocking event, and then the need for strategic, logical, intellectual thinking and leadership is what pushed that person forward, or you. And that's what's hidden from your awareness before, what was before you. What is coming from above, what is divinely guided and hidden from your awareness, or whatever would crown you, that's hidden from your awareness at this time, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, we have an Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. This is a lack of offer, a lack of beginning when it comes to something monetary, or has to do with our material, time, or energetic resources that is not beginning. A lack of initiation in that regard. What else? Oh, so I have one that flipped here. It's almost as if you're getting. This is too many. I can't take that many. So we have the Six of Swords. It's causing you to move on, to set sail for broader horizons, it's almost like. But to move forward. Almost as if packing your things and moving forward. And then this one here, what is this? Yeah, the Four of Cups in the reverse. Almost as if there's like a seize the day energy. Normally we would see this as somebody who is kind of sitting there reflecting upon old loss and kind of sitting there. I'll try and show you. It's somebody who's kind of sitting there reflecting on losses. And there's a lack of interest in any of the cups that could be bestowed upon them from the universe. Rather, even despite what they already have, they're not interested in what they already have. Never mind what could be bestowed upon them from the universe. This person in the reverse is recognizing where the opportunity for emotional fulfillment is afforded to them by the universe. It's also the emergence from a depressed state where one would be exercising like a lack of interest, or exhibiting rather a lack of interest because of tragedy. It's almost as if somebody believes that if they move, following the lack of initiation in a material, energetic, or time-based aspect of things, like if they don't see the initiation of a new contract or a new chronologically based or energetic based connection or project, they believe that the thing that's going to put the wind in their sails is moving forward to greener pastures or broader horizons. Like the only way that they will ever not be depressed is it's almost as if somebody believes that the way to solve all of their problems is to move or relocate or to have the change of scenery. There's a catharsism that kind of shows itself here in these three cards when we kind of look at it from that angle. It's as if what's coming from above is the idea. Sorry, this happened to me with Taurus too. Give me a sec. Amazing. Sorry, excuse me. Ooh. It's almost as if, oh gosh, it's almost as if the thing that's coming from above that somebody isn't aware of is this belief, the idea, or what's top of mind rather, that is hidden from somebody's awareness is like a patternized thinking that if things don't work out, or an offer doesn't pan out, or an idea doesn't pan out, or something doesn't begin for them that has that promise when it comes to their money, energy, or time resources, then the thing to do is always to start from scratch, or to move away, or get that fresh start in a new environment, and that somehow that's going to put them to rights and put them in a space where they'll no longer be depressed. They'll get that fresh start. They'll be able to, do things differently, start over. And it's like, it kind of feels like patternized thinking here. Like one would, like it's hidden from your awareness, but it's actually a patternized thinking, and it's an idea that's top of mind rather than divinely guided. Thank you. That's literally what I'm seeing here, as opposed to something that's coming from the universe for you. Whereas as opposed to the idea that Taurus received, which was, this is something that is being brought to you and hidden from your awareness from the divine. This is something that's hidden from your awareness. It's almost as if you're oblivious to your own patternized thinking in this regard. That if I relocate, I can start over when things don't work out for me. Like if I'm not receiving the new beginning, then I create the new beginning by moving away. And that's like saying bang your head against the wall, see if it still hurts. Which coincidentally is a saying that my dad always... Is it my dad that used to say that, or my mom? Bang your head against the wall, see if it still hurts. But it's true. It's like the definition of insanity. It's doing the same thing over again and expecting a different result. Yes, And if the consistent issue is always doing the same thing, expecting things to somehow pan out differently, however they never pan out differently, and your response is always the same when something doesn't work out. I'm going to get a fresh start, and I'm going to do things like this, and this is how it's going to work out differently this time. Well, if it never works out differently this time, law of probability suggests that it probably still isn't going to work out any differently, and that the consistent issue is more than likely the person who's like your thinking is flawed, and that maybe there's a different approach that you can take, as opposed to cutting bait and running anytime that things aren't kind of working out for you here. Because, the issue isn't necessarily that it's like you've got a lack of interest here, you're depressed, things aren't panning out for you because you didn't get an offer. Well, maybe there'll be a new offer for you, It's not always the most productive thing to do to get in your ship and set sail every time an Ace of Pentacles doesn't work out. Because then you're consistently going after an Ace of Pentacles all the time. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. But the problem is that if you always do that, then it's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. The bullet hole is still there. Anyway, I could talk about this ad nauseum. I really could. But I probably shouldn't, because we have other things that we have to look at. Let's look at what's hidden from your awareness from below. So these are things that are bubbling up from the subconscious, or things that you're unconsciously aware of at this time, or that other people are kind of, that's going on in their subconscious, or that they're unaware of at this time, that's bubbling up from their subconscious. Whatever's going on below that's hidden from your awareness. And we were extremely efficient. We got 4, I think it was here. Let's see. Yeah. The World in the reverse, with the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, the Magician in the reverse, and the Fool in the upright. Okay. So the World in the reverse is kind of like my merry-go-round of crazy card. It's kind of an extension of what I was saying up here when I talked about bang your head against the wall, see if it still hurts, and the definition of insanity being doing the same thing over and expecting a different result. That's the world in the reverse, quite literally. It's the merry-go-round of crazy. Let's keep doing things over and over again, and nobody's going to get off the ride. We're all just going to sit there with our heads spinning, spewing pea soup, and and nothing ever changes, nothing ever ends. No one ever learns, no one ever transcends. You know, can also be considered a reconciliation card, but the feeling is a lack of wholeness, a lack of completion. Followed by here, we have the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. This could be Earth sign children, so Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn children, but a lack of communication about a peace offering, a timepiece, but also tangible communication. Kind of like somebody who should be saying, well, for what it's worth, or, you know, talking about taking something for with a grain of salt or something like that. That communication isn't happening. Pages are messengers, and so the tangible communication isn't happening here, and that could be making somebody or you, without your conscious awareness, you could be unconsciously aware of this, but it's making you feel like you're sitting in an unfinished business type of situation, or feeling at this time. I think this is more along the lines of, things never ending, always the same, never, kind of just going through the same motions over and over again, and never resolving something, like an unresolved feeling here, because something isn't being said on the tangible side of things, followed by the Magician. This is in the reverse. It's about trickster energy, illusions, and kind of putting up a front or a ruse, where something is concerned, and it could very well be that somebody isn't saying something because they're feigning that things are okay, whereas at the same time, I just kind of feel like it's more just that somebody is feigning feeling completeness, or the finish or resolution of a cycle. This could also, because we are talking about what could be lurking beneath your subconscious, or what is hidden from your awareness in your daily waking life. It could very well be here that what is feeling unresolved within you is the fact that there isn't a tangible communication, however small, that has to do with something that you're fooling yourself about, or that you're kind of ignoring and putting on a front regarding Gemini energy here. So it could simply be that you're feeling tricked, or you're feeling as if you have to put on a false face, or that there's illusion involved in not you're not communicating to somebody that something feels unresolved for you. I think that's the big thing that I'm trying to convey here so ineloquently. Nonetheless, there is risk required here with the Fool card. This is Aries energy with the Fool. What is required is an adventurousness and a risk-taking element. It kind of putting ourselves out here is what's required. And I think that what we're really talking about here is that there's a feeling of not feeling super resolute about something, not having things come full circle, and therefore not feeling super whole or complete on something, because we're not taking the risk, the necessary risk or adventurousness required. It's almost like, cutting your nose off to spite your face. I would rather be fake about it and pretend that I have nothing to say than, take the risk and strike out for the purpose of learning, or for the purpose of experiencing something different and new within myself, because it's too risky for me to do so. And in not taking the risk, we aren't learning anything. When we're doing that, it's super important and key to remember is that the Fool in the major arcana, the reason that he's card 0 is because that is the human archetype. So anytime that we're dealing with the human archetype in the tarot, that is the lesson of being human. And so where are you, the question for you, what's being hidden from you in your subconscious, or perhaps in another person's subconscious, is where are you failing to recognize the human element within yourself, right? No, I don't have a problem. I'm totally whole and complete. Everything's all said and done and buttoned up. I have nothing left to say or address here, and whatever. But like the thing is that this is just a front. The magician in the reverse hasn't actually exercised nor put into practice any sort, any iota of self mastery. Whereas, and he really needs to get back to basics with the Fool here. In fact, interestingly enough, the magician is card one. And so, what do we say in the tarot? Any card in the reverse is the card that precedes it. It's getting back to basics. It's getting back to being the Fool and embodying the energy of that human element once more. Because you haven't even struck out on that path to learn what it is to be vulnerable and authentic. Never mind mastered the self in order to master the elements. Yeah? In any event, let's go ahead and let's take a look now at your... what's ahead of you that's hidden from your awareness for May. Aquarius, you are super efficient. But what's ahead of you for May and hidden from your awareness from a futuristic standpoint? We have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. A need for self-reliance, but not actually being able to recognize nor exercise self-reliance. This is, usually somebody who takes care of themselves, is extremely independent, and does not want for much when it comes to their time, their energy, and their material resources. However, in the reverse, this goes back to the 8th, the need to work hard in order to be able to exercise such independence and self-reliance. What else? For Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, what is hidden from their awareness in May, in the future for them? What is ahead of them that they are not aware of, they do not expect? Seven of Pentacles, yes. So it's also important to make sure that you are investing aptly with your time and your energy. And of course, if you are investing with your material, that you're doing so from a wise space, making sure that you're planting your seeds in a fertile garden as opposed to just casting them wherever. The Seven of Pentacles is about tending to that garden carefully and with careful forethought, rather, so that you can see the seeds of your see the seeds that you've sown grow into promising fruits of your labor later, right? Lest you end up with a barren garden that has bore no fruit. And this is not and this is more an analogy for your material, your time, and your energetic efforts, as opposed to anything else. Being wise about it. Anything else, Aquarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, yeah, Temperance. This is Sagittarian energy for you, but it's also about the need to exercise moderation. There is something calling to you that's stating that there isn't a whole lot of moderation being exercised in your life in the future, and that is more than likely going to be an issue. This is a harbinger of the need to kind of look at things from a moderate space as opposed to from two extremes, or rather from one extreme over another. Sagittarian energy here. It's also about impatience. Whereas over here we saw somebody who was, being pushed out the door because they were reluctant to move past it in the beginning of things, as well as the Three of Wands, I saw that as impatience for you. I think in the future we're continuing to see an impatience. Temperance is also about healing. When we look at the Temperance card, it's also the angel of healing, the temperate angel of healing, moderation, and higher learning. So it's also about healing oneself through patience. Healing oneself, and it's almost as if there's a little bit of a warning here about exercising moderation, lest one miss the boat on healing oneself. You could also be emerging from a healing time where exercising moderation was extremely important, or it could be about emerging from healing situation where the angel is saying to you, well, not so fast, tiger. You still need to exercise moderation. Just because you feel better now doesn't necessarily mean that this isn't important. But that's what I've got for you. Bottom of the deck, Aquarius. Eight of Swords. Yeah, there's a little bit of a feeling like you're trapped. Uh, However, this is a feeling rather than a reality. It's a victimhood mindset that you're kind of experiencing at the present moment. And when we see the Eight of Swords, we also call it the mental prison. The reason we call it a mental prison is because there's really nothing keeping this individual from walking out of that tree trunk. He's not entrenched in vines. He's not, locked in there as if by swords or anything like that. What he really is he's locked in a prison of thought, if you will. It's really only his reticence that's keeping him imprisoned by that tree trunk. So any moment that he so chooses, he could walk out of there. He chooses to sit there and to contemplate, as opposed and to kind of like make up the monsters under his bed and in his head, instead of really walking out of there on his own. So it's important to pay attention to the negative self-talk, to the victimhood mindset, and to the self-limiting beliefs that you're having during this time, and really examine where they're serving you and where they are to your detriment, and where you are the captain of your own ship, if you will. All right. Yeah, caffeine works wonders, man. All right. So that's that. That's what I've got for you, Aquarius. I really hope that helped. If you liked what this was about, this hidden, from your awareness, what you don't see type reading, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see what we can do for you moving forward with it. I kind of liked it. I kind of just, was like, I'm going to wing it and see how it goes. Anyway, all right. We'll see you when we see you next. Have a great May. And yeah, bye now.